Hello guys, and welcome to Paris. You can see behind me the Opera House, and my iPhone does not do reverse here while I'm videoing, so let me give you a little tour here. It's the Opera House on both sides. I'm going to post a link to a professional tour of the inside, so you're not stuck to looking at the inside of the Opera House only based on my photography skills. Let me give you a little bit of a tour here. The neighborhood. And I want you to remember what we've talked about with setting and how important setting is to a novel. So I usually make this comparison with Dracula, right? You start out Dracula in Transylvania and then you bring it home to England, right? It has an effect on your understanding of the novel, just like Frankenstein when he's off in the mountains of Switzerland in these beautiful areas. It affects how you perceive the novel. So I want you to keep that in mind, that this novel is set in this amazing building behind me. You'll see, take the online tour that I posted a video for, okay, because it is amazing. Gold on the ceilings, it's insane how beautiful this building is on the inside. I just left a tour myself, it's gorgeous, so take a tour. And remember that Gaston Leroux, when he wrote this book, he knew this building inside and out. When he's describing the setting, it is completely accurate. When he says there are this many levels of basement beneath the building, he's accurate, there are that many levels. When he says that there is an underground lake, there is an underground lake. So just keep that in mind, that he was accurate here. He was at one point a journalist, so he started out as a lawyer. That's what his family wanted him to be. And when his dad died, he inherited a lot of money and went around being stupid. He was like the prodigal son, but he didn't come back. He just got broke. And so he became a journalist. As a journalist, he covered stories here. He covered the stories of a case in the Opera House where prisoners had been held in a cell in the basement. So that's interesting, right? So he had a reason to be in the basement, okay? And he also covered a story where the counterbalances of the chandelier broke and fell on a patron who died. So that combines interestingly with the story too. So keep that in mind. After a while of being a journalist, he quit. He was inspired by the examples of Edgar Allan Poe and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So again, like I've been telling you, literature is a conversation, right? He's inspired by Edgar Allan Poe and Sir Conan Doyle, which would have been, of course, Sherlock Holmes. And he goes on to become an author, and in turn he inspires Agatha Christie. He writes one of the very first locked door room mysteries, right? So that's when they find the body that's been murdered inside of a locked room. He wrote one of the first. So you can see how he would then inspire someone like Agatha Christie. So see this as a conversation. Okay, so then I want you to look at a few things here. Let me just get my notes here. We're going a little unprofessional this time, right? But getting the lecture in here. So think about settings. Think about the performances that are mentioned in this novel. Separate the novel from the movie. Don't combine those two in your understanding of the story. See the movie as an interpretation of the novel. Look at the performances they talk about. They talk about performances like Othello. What do the performances add to your understanding? Google a few of them. See what they're about and see what that adds to your understanding. Think about the comparison between the monsters here and the monster here and the monster in Dracula and in Frankenstein. Of course, in Dracula, he's supernatural. In Frankenstein, he's created. But here is a man that probably had just a deformity that we wouldn't consider that abnormal now. Somebody that could be out in society working. But the way society was back then, a deformity separated you. So keep that in mind. I want you to, after you've, I don't want to give away spoiler alerts away here, but when you are finished with the novel, compare the ending with the movie. What does that do to your understanding of the monster himself? Do you see the monster as the bad guy, or as the good guy, or as a victim? Who's the monster here? I want to know what you think about that. So take your time, work your way through this novel, enjoy the scariness, read it in a dark room. Watch the movie, let me know what you think, and definitely watch the YouTube video on the link that I post. Send me an email with questions. Bye!